All right, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing. But now let's talk about Solana. As we are, starting Tuesday morning, you guys can see we're seeing a little bit of red across the board and some coins up quite a bit. And when I mean quite a bit, above 10%. So the reason as to why this is the case is because, BTC, as we did start off Tuesday morning, we're seeing a little bit of a minor retracement within the price of Bitcoin, which is causing some of the altcoins to be in red right now. As far as the Solana is concerned, it's down 3.6% on the daily time frame, with the price currently sitting at $67.48. It's also down 1.8% in Bitcoin compared to over the past 24 hours. Looking at its market cap, $29 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume currently sitting at $2.8 billion, which is, of course, really, really nice to see. So let's take a further look and, of course, do our daily analysis on the price, see what is happening and what are some next targets that we could be aiming. But before I do that, as always, just a quick disclaimer. Anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So if you guys do not know, the battle that I've been continuously discussing is starting. You guys can see Cardano is starting to heat up once again. Avalanche has entered the top 10, and Solana, of course, has led the entire market over the past 2 months. So you guys can see this is generational switch that we're seeing. Ethereum started off as the beginning, and now Ethereum is seen as a store of value rather than development side of things. The ecosystem growth is not going to be as great as we're going to see these other projects that are going to come and battle it out. You guys can see Solana has been killing it. Of course, like I said, Cardano is also heating up, Avalanche, and this is where these projects really show their true value moving forward. So very, very interesting times ahead, but let's keep reminding ourselves Solana is killing it on the yearly time frame, up 411%. So continuously I want to remind you guys how good Sol has been performing. But let's take a further look at the price, see what is happening in the immediate short term, and of course what are some next targets we can be aiming for. So let's take a look at BTC right now. So you guys can see BTC right now has seen a little bit of a retracement, as mentioned to you guys before. We did see Bitcoin running up to 42,000, but like I said, it is seeing a little bit of a minor retracement, which of course is impacting the altcoins. Looking at the dominance index, you guys can see dominance index is also picking up a little bit, which of course should not be a shocker to anyone, and that is also a huge factor as to why we're seeing some of the coins in red right now. But let's take a look at the price of Solana. The way Solana is holding, this is something a lot of people keep ignoring. The way Solana continuously is holding speaks for itself. So yesterday what happened was we did see Solana wick down to $64.11, and the $64.11 was the previous yearly high, and we do have resistance at that range. So of course that played out as a level of support. But as mentioned to you guys before, if that was not able to hold, there's still a chance that Sol could fall down to $58.52, and that target still remains as a valid target. It's not unrealistic to think that. If I were to bring out the measuring tool, in order for us to retest that target, that is a move of about another 13.6%. And if Bitcoin decides to see another retest at $40,000, if whales try to manipulate the markets, because now the sentiment might start becoming bullish once again, and this is where the whales manipulation portion comes into play. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. So if we do see that there is a potential we could retest $63.83, and of course if that support does not hold, the main support line is at $58. But again, is that a time to worry? Absolutely not, and especially the people that were kicking themselves at $80 almost will be getting a great opportunity. And if that were the case, it's just a if, right? But we still have to discuss that. But one thing a lot of people might not be seeing is, Solana is in an upwards trend. If I give it a refresh live, let's take a look at that. So you guys can see Sol is in an upwards trajectory. It's creating higher highs, higher lows. As I've mentioned to you guys several times, that's an indication that the prices are in an upwards trajectory. So that's that. I'm really liking the way this project continues to outpace the markets and the way it's holding. From its yearly high, we're only down 12%. And yes, I know a lot of people get ticked off at these retracements, but let's keep reminding ourselves how much Solana is up, and not just the price. Forget about the native tokens price for once. Solana is a native token for the Solana blockchain, of course, if you do not know. Well, let's focus on the ecosystem. And you could see literally on the yearly time frame how many Solana based projects are up. We're seeing Sol up, of course, obviously the native token, HNT, Render, and you guys get the idea. And of course, now if we're looking at it on the monthly time frame, we've seen Bonk, who's also based out of Solana, as well as Pyth. So you get the idea as to what is happening. When was the last time we saw another chain projects make headlines like these? Never. I can't think of one. If you want to correct me, let me know in the comments. But as far as besides Ethereum, I don't recall the last time we saw projects out of these other chains do tremendous amount of volume, and of course bring in so much traction to the ecosystem. And that's what a lot of people tend to ignore. But people are starting to get people are starting to realize, hey, you know what, this is actually no joke, because Solana has literally changed some people's life. I saw one comment, I literally looked everywhere for it, but there was a guy who just farmed a little bit on Gito and hit the Gito airdrop, and he said, this changed my life, I'm gonna buy my parents a home out of this. Like, wow. And on top of that, we know the problems Ethereum has, right? The conjunction on the chain. And if you have ever traded a meme coin, altcoin, or whatever you want to call it on decentralized platforms, you know how much fee you're paying. You can literally fill up a tank of gas sometimes at the peak of the bull run. If you are paying $60-$80 for one trade, that's a full tank somewhere in North America, depending on where you are. So that should give you an understanding as to why these other chains are really popular. As far as the future of crypto goes, it's going to be on these chains. These ecosystems are going to be the leaders, not Ethereum anymore. But Ethereum's not going anywhere. Ethereum is going to always remain as a store of value, and that's why institutions are flooding in. So that's that. But I want to hear from you guys. What is your strategy for Sol right now? Where do you see a Solana trading at the end of the bull market? And how do you strategize your overall exit? Where do you see exiting? Where do you see staking your Sol? Like, what exactly are you going to be doing? Let me know in the comments. And of course, I always want to know which project on Solana you guys are so hyped over. I'm extremely hyped for Jupiter Exchange. I hit on the airdrop, but overall that project itself, I'm extremely bullish on it, and once it hits the market, I'm going to be accumulating more. I'm going to make a whole video on that, so tune in for that as well. But we haven't really heard anything when that airdrop is going to actually go live and when it gets listed on the exchanges. We've seen the allocations, but as of now, as far as listing goes, that's still up in the air. So that is it for today's update. Thank you for all your support, each and every one of you guys, for tuning in on a daily basis. Let's keep reminding ourselves, this is one step at a time game. It's not going to go up straight in one line. We will see retracements, but speaking about retracements, the way Solana is retracing is a dream retracement for people that do invest in crypto space. So that is it for today's update. Love you all. See you tomorrow in Crypto ZX, and peace out.